wonderful to be back again this year. I'm going to just also ask Joe if you could spotlight me, that would be helpful. Okay, and then I need to just get that out of the way. I'm busy just working things out here, which is great fun. So yeah, it's really, every year I've got to think about how we're going to do the conference, especially since the pandemic, but I'll get onto that in a minute. So for those who don't know me, I am Juliet English. I've been married to my husband, Larry, for 35 years. We have 7 children. The oldest is 32 now. She probably wouldn't want me telling you all that. The youngest is now 16. And we've been home educating since 1998, which would make it 24 years. And we're still home educating our youngest. So the Learn Free Home Educators Conference was born in 2011. And this is actually our 11th conference. The very first one was organized in the space of about 6 weeks, along with the help of my home education group, which is called Christian Home Educators Warwickshire, otherwise known as CHU. Many still refer to this conference as the CHU conference. So a lot of people wonder where the title comes from. It's connected to a very old film from the 60s, which if you don't remember it, your parents probably will. It's a film called Born Free. And Born Free was a film about lions that were raised in captivity. And the lioness Elsa was released back into her natural habitat to live as she was meant to live. Now, to me, with home education, we make the choice to educate our children ourselves, and that enables us to release them to learn as they were meant to learn, just like Elsa was meant to be in the wild. And our children can find what works for them and can use that natural learning ability without constraint. So the conference used to be just a one-day live affair run right here in Coventry, but COVID-19 got us to change direction, and we took it to a virtual platform for the first time. Discovering the wonderful opportunity that a virtual conference offers, such as being able to use international speakers and attendees, and being able to innovate with technology, has made it a no-brainer to continue in this format. If it wasn't for being able to go online, we couldn't have speakers join us from all over the world and all over the country. So we're very thrilled this year that we've got Peter Gray joining us from the United States, and we've got a number of other American and Canadian speakers, Australian speakers, and it's just amazing that we can do that. It also means that people can attend that couldn't attend normally. With our speakers, instead of them needing to travel to where we are at huge expense, we can ask them just to give us an hour, and it's so much more convenient. And of course, we found that many of our attendees were so thankful when we went virtual, because it was the first time they were actually able to attend. And they can dip in and out as they choose, and they can also access the recordings, because we do make the recordings available for 6 months afterwards. So because we are live on Facebook, I want to encourage anyone watching, they can still book for the conference at any point over the 5 days. You can just go to the website, which is events.learnfree.org.uk, and you can book there and access everything immediately. If there's anyone who has booked and you haven't been able to access the conference site, you can email us at support@learnfree.org.uk to get help. So running this conference is a little bit like when you choose to home educate. Sometimes you don't always know if it's going to work out. And I think for most of us as home educators, we don't really know. We just hope it does. And we have to take that leap of faith anyway, because we believe it's the right thing to do. It can be nerve-wracking and really challenging, but once the decision is made, there's no looking back. I am the kind of person who gets an idea, and then I just have to run with it. And sometimes, then you just commit it and you have to figure out how to make it work. It's the first time that we're running the conference through our own website. The past 2 years, we used an app. And this year, we decided to try it through the website. And I didn't actually know if it was possible. But my trusty tech friend, Doré, thought we could. And she promised to hold my hand through the whole thing. I cannot thank Doré enough for the many hours that she's put into to make this work. It is a lot of hours and a lot of brain wrangling just to make things work. But the end product, I think, is one we can be proud of. But none of it has yet been tested by large numbers. There's a lot of little things that we're still not quite sure how it's going to work. So please bear with us if we experience any issues. So just a few technical points. By now, I think most of us are used to using Zoom and technology, and we know that sometimes it lets us down. It's just the way it is. We are at the mercy of broadband providers, the age of our tech and our devices, and we can only help so much with so much as phones, laptops, tablets can vary widely in age and how updated they are. So we do ask for your grace and your patience, and hopefully we will all still have a good time regardless. I personally feel you can enjoy the site more if you're on a desktop or a tablet, but the basics should work nonetheless on your phone browser. Most of the live sessions are being recorded, so if there are any problems with your device or if you're busy, you can go and catch them up and you'll have access to that content for 6 months. So I want to say thank you to a few more people. I have acknowledged Doré, but I have to acknowledge Tutors and Exams. You can see them up here or other hand there. And Tutors and Exams are a private exam company, that exam center that set up some years ago. And I have to say they made our lives a lot easier just because they've been consistent and they provide a really good service. So I have a great working relationship with Chris and Jenny, who set up in Coventry some years ago, and I'm so appreciative of their continued support for this event. If you want to know more about Tutors and Exams, you can click on the link here or visit their page on the exhibitors in the expo and find out more of what they do. But certainly this conference is really made possible by them investing in us. Then I also want to thank Heidi and Linda from Changemaker Teens for their donation to the conference. It is so appreciated. I've really enjoyed getting to know Heidi. We've seen each other regularly since she first popped up last year at Learn Free, and she joins us all the way from Brisbane in Australia, and she'll be presenting a session on Tuesday. Heidi is passionate about supporting self-directed learners, and I know that you'll be encouraged by what she has to say. And you will see that their banner is over there too, and you can go and click on the Changemaker Teens banner on the little interactive little thingy that you can see on there, and you can go and find out more about Changemaker. And I also want to thank Mothers at Home Matter for their support. Thank you. So on that note, please be sure to go and visit our expo to find out who's about and the different resources for home educators. Some of them are just, we'll just have their page here, but some of them are actually around at the conference, and we encourage our exhibitors, if they want to set up their own little meetups within this platform, they can do so. So in preparing for this conference every year, I get to talk to some of the most amazing people. Home educators are certainly amongst the most articulate, vibrant, thinking, just amazing people. And I just enjoy chatting with them so much and getting them involved in the conference. And I just love the home educating community. That being said, at this conference, it's just a little reminder that we are a platform for home education. The only politics we discuss is those around home education. So please respect our space. We focus on what we have in common and nothing else. Particularly now, that's very important that we work together. Those who are aware of what's going on here in the UK, there is yet another attempt to restrict the freedom of home educators based on very little evidence, if I'm honest. And we face the potential for our current threats, our current rights and freedoms to be lost. So we need to stand together more than ever. With that in mind, I felt that this year's conference needed to look at how we, as home educating community, meet the challenges, find ways to reframe the narrative and encourage one another to step out more boldly and to more positively champion the rights of families to choose how their children are educated. And that's what led me to the theme of this year's conference. So the Learn Free conference has always had as its subtitle, educate, sorry, I'm losing it here, but yeah, equipping, enabling, empowering and encouraging parents to educate their children with boldness and freedom. Boldness and freedom, I feel, are really key words for us. And I added an extra word this year. So the theme this year is bolder, freer, louder, because I think all of that we've done in the past, we need to be doing more. And so I went and I had a little look at the definitions of some of these words. So bold, to be bold means that there's a willingness to take risks, being confident and courageous, and it necessitates courage and daring. To be free. To be a free person is to be able to act according to your autonomous will in consequence of not being dependent on the will or goodwill of anyone else. A free action is one where there is absence of external impediments. And I think that freedom is something we carry in ourselves. It's not necessarily something somebody gives us, it's something we carry in ourselves. And loud, so what is loud? Loud is producing or capable of producing much noise. The Collins Dictionary says striking with force on the organs of hearing, clamorous, emphatic, insistent. You can even have a loud whisper. So as home educators, I feel that right now we have to find it in ourselves to be bolder and freer and louder. We need to make ourselves heard. We need to be making sure that this is not a time to shrink away from the challenges and to be afraid. This is a time to step up. Parents are uniquely placed to know their children intimately and to be 100% invested in their child's well-being and the adults they will become. The parent has the vocabulary and knowledge and experience to take on the adult world on behalf of their child. So as we step up as parents in being bolder and freer and louder, we encourage our children to be that as well. I really love this quote, which is attributed to Robert Frost. People will tell you that freedom lies in being cautious. Freedom lies in being bold. Thank you so much for all being here and for supporting Learn Free. I want to thank my family. I want to thank all the wonderful volunteers and other supporters, the organizations that I work with. I just want to thank you all for your help and encouragement with this conference. I couldn't really do it without all of you. So thank you very much.